In the movie Jurassic World, they had this really cool gyrosphere, which supposedly had a gyroscope to keep it balanced. But I don't think this thing would really work. You see here they've got these little ball things that it's supposed to run on, which would just scratch up the surface, and if you got any piece of dust in them it wouldn't work anymore. But this is just movie magic stuff. So how could we make this work in real life? This is my idea. There would be an outer cage that spins around the whole thing, which propels you along, and your weight would keep it from spinning. Then the whole thing would twist sideways, the track, the motor, the whole lot, and that way you could turn because it'll be rolling on a smaller diameter, so it'll bank into turns. Take the halves apart and have a closer look at how it works. So the main ring will run on a gear, and this is the motor that I would probably use, QS138. This is the same motor that I used in my big wheel electric bike project. They work really well. It's got a gear reduction on there. I think it's like 2.2 to 1. That would be powered by a far driver controller. Next on to the rollers. This is what the whole track will roll on. We take those out, there's 6 of those, they'll have bearings inside them. I actually ended up getting these machined. I had a friend that had a CNC lathe. We changed the design a little bit, but let's have a look at what we did. Got some 2-inch round bar. Here are the parts he's already cut. So Naisby CNC is going to make them for me. And that's the part he's making there. So it's an old machine from the late 80s, right?
Yep.
And he's retrofitted it to plug into the computer so he can run it through Fusion 360. So it works just as good as a modern CNC, if not better, because it's very big and rigid. We've got a 20mm drill. He did no pilot, tech drilling. So it goes in about 10mm and then backs out or something, is it? So it's a long way to drill through. He has to do it from one side each and swap it around. Where's is my workmate? He's just saying that this place is a mess. You should see what my shed looks like. Got the little bonsai up there even. Oh. That's it. Let's get that fast. So which ones is it?
That one.
That one.
And that one.
There's one a finishing and one a roughing.
Rough and finishing. So it's going to rough with that, finish with that.
Okay. So what, it hydraulically locks itself to the bed, does it?
Yeah. Oh no, I have to physically lock it.
Oh yeah. Ugh, yuck. Why is it so far out?
I was worried about that because the way it's sitting on the center, it's not actually sitting that great.
Oh, no coolant.
I just want to watch it cut towards the end.
Got quite a bit of tooling with it. Where's that big U-drill you had? It's an impressive drill. So you just change out the tungstens on the end when it gets blunt. Oh, they're offset from each other. I thought they'd be the same, but yeah, I see.
Yeah, because it's got a drill.
So you can go straight in from nothing or what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Alright, that's just the roughing pass. Can I touch it? It won't be hot, eh?
Yep.
Even the roughing pass looks nice. There we go, that's the one of them done. He'll do the rest of them and give them to me later. So let's have a closer look at how the outer cages are made. So these will just be 5mm plate, and I'll just get these laser cut out. They've got tabs, so the whole lot will just slot together, and it'll make it really easy to weld off, and there'll be a nice strong structure once they're all together because that cage shape is really strong. And the other pieces will be rings. I'll probably cut these in sections just to save material, but they've got notches as well, so they just sort of jigsaw together. And this is how the tilting mechanism will work for the steering. That cross member at the back is supposed to move with it, but I messed up the model. So this is how it will steer. There'll be a pivot front and rear of the main cockpit, and see the gear moves with it, which is driven by a motor, and that's how the steering will work. If we take away all of the cabin parts, these are all flat sheets that will be rolled into shape. You've got a driver and a passenger that can sit in there, and there's the far driver controller will be mounted there, and then the motor for the steering will be down there. Be a smaller motor, might have to be lower geared than that. And there you've got windows you can see out of. I haven't quite designed how the hatches will work on the sides yet, but I'll figure that out eventually. And let's move on to the batteries. So I can have 2 or maybe even 4 of these batteries in here. So let's have a closer look at them. Aluminium case, 2mm thick, and inside you take the top off, you can see the batteries there. If you take them out of the box, I have an insulating sheet on the bottom, and then you have these strips which connect all the batteries, so they will be all in some in series, some in parallel, one top and bottom, and they will each have a wire coming off them that will go to the BMS. Those are the big input-output wires, and the individual strips will connect to these, so it will balance the battery for you. So I could have 4 of these batteries and it would last for like probably 3 or 4 hours. I'd probably have it RC controlled and just use one of these type of controllers so I could control it from outside if need be, and that way, you know, driver and passenger can swap controls really easily. There's only really 2 controls, forward, backwards, side to side, that's all you need. So it'll just roll along on flat ground, which will be fine. But if you accelerate quickly, it will have a massive pitch up motion, and going up hills would be a problem as well, so this would be better machine suited for sort of flatter ground, swamps and stuff like that, and it'll have really good traction with how it works. This shows trying to get over something like a log. It'd have to pitch right up till the center of balance goes over the obstacle and it will fall over it. So climbing obstacles will not be very good with this thing, but it would be possible, especially with a bit of momentum. It will also be possible to rotate the cage right around sideways and sit on its edge, and then you'll be able to spin on the spot, which would be a cool trick, but also great for maneuverability if you want to go change directions or something like that. The drive gear, which will be fixed to the motor, which will drive the whole thing. I was going to get this laser profiled, but I could probably get it machined from Naisby CNC. Okay, Wes at Naisby CNC is in the process of setting up his new shop. He's already got a pretty tidy setup with all of his tooling and everything in here. This looks like all of his lathe tooling, and then all the different jaws for the CNC lathe, and DTIs and drill bits and stuff like that. Very cool. This is the lathe here that he built my parts on, as you'll see in the footage. This is the latest addition, this huge big CNC mill. Got a carousel, you can hold a whole heap of bits, it flips around. He might run it a bit later so we can have a look. He's still setting up, so next time I'll show you guys a bit more about this. It's got a chipped conveyor here that'll ship all the swarf out. I see a big screw in here, I'm not quite sure how it works. Maybe it's going to feed out that way or that way. Huge hydraulic pack. Around the back side of it here, not quite sure what all this stuff is. Here's the Wes up here trying to sort his roof out. Then he's got a generator over here because you've got to run 3-phase for these high powered machines, so decent sized generator. So about 2,000 litres will fit inside this ball, which means it can float 2,000 kilos. Probably weigh about 500 kilos with passengers in it, and I'm guessing it'll float about where I've put it there. So you'll be able to drive on water, and with the big ridges it'll catch a lot of water and drive quite well on the water, I think. You can still turn like normal. I actually gave up on this project for a while. I just need the money to buy the laser profiles basically, probably a few $1,000s. Let me know if you guys want to see me build this thing one day, or if you want to build it yourself, let me know and I could send you the drawings. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.